Well, Brian said that solving big problems starts with just one person. Well, if there was ever an issue to test that theory, it's persistent poverty. It's a problem that is so big, so entrenched, affects so many people, and it is seemingly so difficult to make a difference on. There are 40 million Americans today in poverty. That is 15% of our country. And get this, the rate of social mobility is actually on the decline, which means if you're born poor today, you are becoming more likely to remain poor. And so when you think about this, you say, how could this be? Well, the causes of poverty are extremely complex, but there is one thing that we know for sure. The top-down sweeping solutions that people have turned to just haven't worked. But what if the answer really did start with just one person? Let me introduce you to Mark Laranger. Mark believes, as we do, that all people can contribute and that we can help all people to realize their extraordinary potential. Now, Mark and his team at Chrysalis have been proving this for 34 years. Chrysalis works with the chronically jobless and the homeless to help them find and maintain meaningful work, and they get incredible results. Over 70% of Chrysalis graduates find and keep a job long term. And those really are great results. We've evaluated hundreds of workforce development programs across the country, and those results are near the top. But then Mark met you. He met this network, right? And so I want you to take a look at this video that shows you both the impact that a group like Chrysalis can have and how this network can help them take their efforts to the next level. Take a look.
When I was growing up, the area I was living in, part of the Crenshaw district, it was very rough. Robberies, gambling, hustling drugs, homeless and down on your luck. It was always about trying to make a fast dollar. I didn't make all the right choices. I went to prison for 10 years for grand theft. It's depressing to just see people go through what they go through in the streets.
In Southern California, it's the homeless situation is the issue that all mayors are struggling with. Some folks just want us to arrest people. It doesn't really solve the problem to say you can't sleep here. How are we really going to solve this problem?
Trying to help this situation is really a human dignity issue.
What we've noticed in a lot of our giving is that we had a whole bunch of people who we gave money to, they had good intentions, but the outcomes really weren't there.
It has been a little frustrating because we don't know if what we do is helpful, if it's really having any impact.
We got to start thinking differently about how to solve this problem.
When I think about the homeless and folks in poverty, I think about this huge, untapped human potential. What we're focused on at Chrysalis is getting people on that pathway to self-sufficiency through a job. A job is the key to solving poverty and homelessness, period.
My first step in the door, it was life-changing.
What really makes the difference is the one-on-one relationship that develops between our clients, the people that we serve, and our staff. We have 3 transitional jobs businesses that provide temporary employment for some of our clients, those that have the biggest barriers to getting work.
It put me in a mindset to where I don't want to go back to prison. I want to be a better provider. When I had my daughter, I wanted her to see that your father's a working man. He earned this for you. Chrysalis transformed my life tremendously.
Chrysalis has been around for 34 years, and in that time, we have served over 60,000 individuals. We haven't opened a new office in 17 years, and we've never done one outside LA County. We started to dream about this idea of expanding and growing, but we didn't know how we were actually going to do that.
It was really awesome to see Chrysalis at the seminar because they were doing something that solved a problem that was very visible to us.
The fact that Chrysalis had been as successful as they had been and they were as committed to it was really exciting to me.
We know that they have been thoroughly vetted, so we really wanted to help and get involved.
I went to the seminar in Palm Springs and I heard about Chrysalis, and I'm thinking, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I knew that they were effective, or they wouldn't have made it through the gauntlet of scrutiny. So I approached Mark and I said, we got to have you come to Anaheim.
it was clear that Anaheim was a great place for us to look at. I've got the seminar network, consulting services, and the business support to figure out how we navigate that. And so connecting with other members in the network, like Frank and Susan Kavanaugh, it's been the perfect relationship to help us jumpstart this whole expansion strategy. This network was able to apply their resources in the right place at the right time to help make change happen.
This happened really fast. From a government point of view, light speed.
Today, we're in our brand new office in Orange County. We're so psyched to finally be at this point where we can begin serving clients tomorrow. Within a few years, we'll be up to 1,000 clients a year out of this office. We went from a cocktail conversation at a seminar network event to this in about 18 months.
It really is the power of a network, right? About people who are capable. Each one is capable by themselves, but when they're joined together, they are capable of things that even they never dreamed of. I'm amazed to be here today with 200 people at the opening of this office, and to think where it started from. You never would have dreamed it, and here it is.
This place saves lives, and so it's not just putting people to work, it saves lives. There's a lot of lives out there that need to be saved, so it's wonderful that we're able to place Chrysalis out here and reach them.
We first went without really knowing what the seminar was all about. I never dreamed it would be our path to leveraging our philanthropic efforts.
It allowed us to really feel both engaged in the process and even better about our contribution to the seminar network and directly Chrysalis.
I can't imagine a better place to be as a nonprofit leader to have somebody say, "You're moving too slow. We want to help you grow faster." There's absolutely no way we would be growing and expanding at the pace we are without this network.
Since Chrysalis expanded, they're gonna help another community. It opened up a lot of doors for me. It helped me be a better man. It's gonna change a lot of lives for the better.
Well, it's pretty incredible, huh? 17 years without expanding, and then in just 18 months, they've got a new office open that's going to serve thousands of people. And in this story, you just saw a fraction of what went into it. So many of you were and are involved in the work of Chrysalis. It was just a couple of years ago that longtime seminar partner, true social entrepreneur himself, Frank Baxter, first introduced us to Chrysalis. In 2016, Mark Laranger and his chief operating officer, they participated in our first ever Catalyst program at Stand Together, where they soaked up management training and networking with other high-impact nonprofits. Soon after that, Alan Vorwald, who you saw in the video, and his wife, Sarah, got way more involved. Alan even joined the board of Chrysalis. So many of you have followed with your support of Chrysalis. Brad Jones, the O'Neill family, and the Kavanaughs who you saw in the video, so many more of you have helped make this possible. Kevin Lavelle, who runs an incredible men's clothing company. It's called Mizzen & Main. I'm wearing one of their shirts right now. I wear one pretty much every day. They donated over $500,000 worth of their shirts to Stand Together partners, including Chrysalis, so that when Mark's clients go to their job interviews, they're going to look great. It's truly amazing what this network has done on this project. And so, for the first time in almost 2 decades, Chrysalis expanded. And that new office in Anaheim is just the first of 3 new locations that they're going to open in Southern California this year and next. As Alan said in the video, no one person that was involved could achieve these outcomes on their own. But in just 2 years, Chrysalis will now grow their impact by 250%. So while no one could have done it on their own, in partnership together and with the tools and support of this network, they can. What that means is that more people like Donald, the inspiring man you saw in the video, is going to be able to transform his life and find and maintain meaningful work. It'll help people like Myron, who spent 30 years in prison. He returned, he couldn't find work, and now he's got an awesome job at the Fairmont in Santa Monica, thanks to Chrysalis. And it'll help people like Marlon, who not only graduated from Chrysalis programs, but he accepted a permanent position working with Chrysalis, where he oversees other supervisors and dozens of current Chrysalis clients, and he's helping to use his experience to transform the lives of others. You remember when Brian talked about this virtuous cycle that helps people realize their full potential? Well, Marlon's not just transforming his life, he's applying his unique gifts and talents to help others to transform theirs. That's how transformation can compound and expand exponentially through this network. So you can see why we're excited about the Chrysalis, but it is just one example of many. Last night, you heard the story of Scott Strode and the Phoenix. Before partnering with this network, they grew to 7 cities in 11 years. But in the last year alone, thanks to your help, they've gone from 7 to 28 cities. What you're seeing here is one of their key expansions. It's their new flagship gym in Boston. It's in a neighborhood that's in the heart of the opioid epidemic. And that footage is from their grand opening that just happened a few months ago. I mean, take a look at what's happening there. There are hundreds of people who are sober and who are proud. And that gym in Boston now serves as a beacon of hope, and it is a total game changer for thousands of people who are experiencing addiction. And that gym is not only going to serve the people in Boston, but it's going to serve as a training hub for programming with the Phoenix throughout the Northeast. Chrysalis and the Phoenix are just 2 of the growing network of 118 social entrepreneur-led nonprofits that stand together as now helping to grow their effectiveness and their scale. You've put us in a position to achieve the lofty but achievable goal to help 2 million people to overcome persistent poverty this year alone. That's the kind of scale that's possible when this network stands together. Thank you.